Did you ever wonder what it was like to just be free? To adventure and explore without the white picket fence and 8 to 5? To throw away the golden handcuffs? Well, we did! So we bought a 1980 Downeaster cutter sailboat that was neglected for decades, sailed her up north, rounding Point Conception, making way to our new home port on the central coast of California. We've been fixing her up and prepping her for blue water cruising ever since. With new episodes weekly, follow along our journey. Leave us a comment. And if you like, press subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next week. In our last episode, we were overwhelmed by house projects. Replacing all our plumbing under the house, paving the side yard, and renovating the bathroom to add a second shower, on top of the already long list of boat projects. Needless to say, we were stressed. Oh my god. Are you okay?
Huh?
Oh, jeez.
Filling in the hole I made.
You might need to take a shower. And then I had an emergency appendectomy, my appendix nearly bursting. Work-life balance, or lack thereof, was quickly catching up to us. Just so happens, about 6 months ago I bought tickets to Colombia with some credit card points that were soon expiring. While I was in the recovery room at Sierra Vista Hospital, I asked the doctors if they thought I could still go to the Amazon, since working on the house and boat was out of the question for me. They all said I could still travel, but not to do anything too physically demanding. So we had a decision to make: continue working the way we were, or put all our projects on hold for a trip to South America.
That's where Grant is. What's up? Right.
Oh, man.
And this is gonna go back via the buckets.
Thank you, guys. Glad it's them and not me. Had I not had an emergency appendectomy, we probably would have canceled the trip and kept working. But I knew I needed a break, and leaving the quote-unquote project site might be the best option. 2 days before we left, we got our yellow fever vaccines and then packed our backpacks.
I'm gonna have such a good receipt.
Our first stop was a small town called Salento in Colombia's coffee country. It was a short layover and an even shorter plane ride to get from the capital of Colombia, Bogota, to the coffee country. Oh my god.
We just headed to the coffee farm. Where are you?
I'm in here. I'm going for 10 kilos.
Babe, only 10. I think it's because it's not the right kind of... I think I have 8. Babe, no. We do. I don't.
You feel the aroma, and of course to all of you. Salud. You drink it with
Oh no!
cheers, salud, cheers, and then for all of you.
Where are we going?
I don't know. On some hike, it's only supposed to be 10 minutes. Still got your coffee though.
Oh yeah. My turn. Alright, I'm gonna get this one. It's gonna go boom.
Estejo. So close.
We made it to the Colombian spa where Grant can finally relax. We told ourselves this trip we were going to go places and do things that we couldn't with a boat. Turns out that lasted only a few days before we were drawn to the Caribbean. We took a 1-hour flight from the coffee country to the north coast of Colombia on the Caribbean Sea.
Creo que te va a gustar, creo que te va a gustar. Siempre la extraño, aunque no esté por allá en Nueva York, pero sí tengo buena rima, un buen folclore. Cuando canto con buena educación, me salen las rimas de la mente y el corazón. Voy por siempre, voy para adelante, alguien que me aguante.
Salud! We also made some friends, Viviana and Nelson, who had just gotten engaged in Taganga, and we were the first ones they told.
En mi nota soy extenso, a mí nadie me corrige. En mi nota soy extenso, a mí nadie me corrige. Para tocar con Lorenzo, mañana sábado viene la Virgen. Para tocar con Lorenzo, mañana sábado viene la Virgen. Me lleva él o me lo lleva.
After ample fresh jugo and Caribbean dips, it was time to explore another city. We made our way to Minka. Minka is a small town tucked away in the coastal mountains above Taganga, with the most diversity in birds in the nation, and too many waterfalls to count. Whoa!
They're like little sails.
Leaf cutters! Ah, there's one on my toe! Yeah! Titan! Yum. Breakfast of champs. Main source of transportation in Minka are motos, so we rented one of our own to explore the area. The city provides many dirt trails to explore on. Ready? There's the coast. Santa Marta. So hazy, but that's the ocean. Actually, it's the Caribbean. Wow.
Who's up?
Hey! Hola! Just got back from the tienda. I got some milk for my coffee.
it was 150, which is like equivalent to 25 cents.
It was time to fly to the Amazon, the part of the trip that we were most looking forward to. We were heading to a small town at the very southern border of Colombia, bordering Peru and Brazil, called Leticia. It's a town directly on the Amazon River and capital of the Department of Amazonas. Most indigenous villages surrounding the area are only accessible by boat, and especially at this time of the year, their winter, lots of places were flooded. Upon arrival, someone from the hostel met us at the airport, and from there we walked to the docks to wait for our boat. We were expected to take an hour-plus boat ride, another walk, and another canoe ride to our hostel location, which was located just north of Leticia along the Amazon River.
¿Listas? Por el Amazon. Ya hace color. Vamos, vamos. What are we doing?
I don't know what to say. We're backpacking to a reserve.
Yeah, in the jungle. Had to walk here with our rubber boots on. Now,
Oh my gosh, mosquito!
John is
Did you see that mosquito, Grant? It was giant.
oh, I didn't. John's taking the water out of the canoe. And then we're gonna keep going.
I would consider myself a pretty tough gal. Grant and I have taken on projects that are well above my head, learning to use power tools and do things that I never thought I would. Heck, I was even a certified snake wrangler at one point in my career. But nothing, I mean nothing, could have prepared me for the Amazon jungle. The elements that aren't as easy to capture on camera. The heat, the humidity, unpredictable weather and wildlife, and diseases like yellow fever and malaria. I'll be honest, it took me a while to adjust.
All right, first impression, son.
Trying to get in here. No. Grant, no. I think that I'm gonna have food poisoning and have to stay here for 5 days. Like right here in this very hammock. There are so many bugs. Look, there's 4 just trying to get my face right now. Look, they're all trying to get in. Grant, look.
It's because they can sense our carbon dioxide.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Dude. Can you please stop filming me right now? Oh my gosh.
The next day, though, I got used to the heat and mosquitoes, and things started looking up.
Uh-oh, no. We made it to the Amazon. They're over there setting up camp. How was I supposed to sit on that? There's so many ants. This is where I'll be the next day. Zona Rio.
And then the night walks began. And that's when everything, and I mean everything, comes to life.
Oh my gosh, it was gonna whack you.
It's so big.
Oh, it's not. Whoa. Is that like a tail? Oh, there's more.
La luz? Nocturno. Night, night. Love you.
We're on our way to a native community with our guide Frank and Edgar. Whoa, so cool. Grant, should we just make one of these boats instead?
Yeah. You could
Probably be a lot less money.
Mexico. They said it only takes 15 days to make.
Oh my gosh.
The dog is chowing down.
Yeah. ¿Qué es eso?
Es como una pistola.
Cuando las anacondas son muy adultas, muy grandes, para cazar ellos hacen un sonido similar como una bala
Oh, sí, sí.
para cazar a la presa. Lo deja sordo y de ahí aprovecha a comer.
Wow.
Numagé, buenos días. Moenchi, gracias.
At the indigenous tribe community, we were shown how the tribe members make their clothes out of tree bark and then paint them using roots, fruits, and leaves of native plants. The clothes aren't worn full-time like their ancestors, but are worn during ritual ceremonies throughout the year. Around 15 species of dye plants are used to color the threads for weaving bags and hammocks or painting bark. This community had about 200 people, and they still managed to have 2 soccer fields.
I see.
On our way back, we even managed to spot the infamous pink river dolphins of the Amazon River. I got it. Wow. The little ones come up more.
Headlamp and flashlight.
Last day in the Amazon. Hace calor.
Where does this take us?
I don't know.
He was a narco-trafficker doing terrorist attacks. He was pulling the biggest exportation of drugs. But there are some facts that make him like a figure to follow for some people. He was supposed to be like a Robin Hood. So he was stealing the rich people to give it to the poor ones. I'm not sure about that, I never met him. But there is a true fact about him. And it is that actually he built a whole neighborhood, La Candelaria, Buenos Aires, next to the city center. Most of the houses from La Candelaria were given to the poor ones. So it will be the same as me. If somebody gives me a house, I will be appreciating it. That's the way they say it, and we respect that. But we have a lot of people in Colombia that suffer terrorist attacks, narco-traffic situation. A lot of people lost their family members, their lives, their houses. So we have a lot of people that hate him so far with reasons as well. And as soon as he got killed, all of the cartel of Medellin started to disappear and all of his links disappeared. After that, a famous narco-trafficant called Don Berna started to take his narco-traffication, but Don Berna got caught in 2007. So since 2007, Don Berna is in a jail in USA, not being able to speak to anybody. Since 2007, the narco-traffic started to be taken by the government. So yeah, we are still having narco-traffication, but it's not up to us. It was more than 15 years with one of the most inaccessible places in the world. And not even my family members were able to hang out over here. For around 1985 until 2002, it just became totally closed and separated from the city. Orion, one of the biggest military movements in Colombia and a big massacre that we had to suffer in our own neighborhood. It was pulled the 16th of October of 2002. I was just 2 years old. During the midnight of the 16th of October, they started to kill more than 2,000 military members with tanks and Black Hawk helicopters under the orders of our ex-president Álvaro Uribe Vélez, trying to take these guerrillas out of here. Because it was only 4 days, 4 different nights of military operation. But after Orion, we were having a whole year with a massacre in here called falsos positivos. So after the 4 days of war, we were having a whole year, militaries, paramilitaries, and cops working together, taking young people from our houses. Young people from 18 to 24, that's my age, because it's perfect to pay for the army services. Women and men were taken from their houses by force and by lies, and they were executed.
Medellin is such a beautiful city, but by far I enjoyed my time in Comuna 13 the most. The mere fact that it's been built up from total destruction to the most viewed area in all of Medellin is remarkable. You can sense the pride as you walk through the narrow streets, surrounded by street vendors and stacked houses. So much transformation and inspiration. So much storytelling through their art and their street vendors and even their street performers. I felt like I was walking through history.
Hacemos así, y yo tengo una cuestión para él. Do you like the beer? Claro, tenemos alza. Do you like the beer? Do you like bandeja paisa? Claro, porque ya saben que va toda la gente que hoy ha venido a saludar. El estilo manito, no puede porque yo no tengo lo que yo soy. Él lo que no cambia, lo que de verdad que yo no tiene ningún mérito, no tiene los poderes, amiga. Algo que te quería preguntar. Do you like latino? Es genial. Alay y ya nada más, y contigo mi amor.
That's why they chose Comuna 13 as a strategic point. And I can tell you that more than 15 years, Comuna 13 became one of the worst places in the world. For around 1985 until 2002, this place was totally dangerous and inaccessible. Nobody was able to visit us.
First pale ale in Colombia.
And tequila something.
Let's see it. Let's see your tattoo. Wow. I love that.
I got these right at my first tattoos. I got right after my 65th birthday.
Comuna 13, Comuna 13. I make clap for you, ustedes se lo merecen. Hey yo, hey, do you like it? Yeah. ¿Sí le gustó, mis amigas? Oh, thank you so much. Hey, my people, please.
Just shorts.
Should have brought an iron.
My bag is much smaller.
Packing up, getting ready. It's our last day in Colombia. We're gonna go check out some museums today and walk around our little market and see what Poblado has to offer.
We're going home.
But now that we have you, we'll do our
Last
best to make
in
it
an
comfortable.
airplane.
We know a lot of you
And
have
then 3 hours in the
connections,
car.
especially in
If you want more than to stay alive.
Go get 'em. Yeah, these lines are basically just a means of me to try to get the copper coils in the right spot. And also I'll drill holes at the line. So actually the coil is going to sit above the line, but it's negligible. I'm just going to drill the holes. I put the aluminum into the box. The only way to ever get it out is to drill out all the rivets. So got my spacers just like all the rest of them. I got my lines, my holes drilled, and I'm gonna put right through there. I'm gonna drill a hole through and put my compressor on the outside over here. And yeah, just run the copper coils around in spiral.